So again, that was very painful. Like, damn, like, so, like, I consider you my friend, and it's not about no Xbox shit, no PlayStation shit. You know what I mean? Like, he says digging around. Like, if I consider you my friend, and I don't have any ill wills or nothing negative to say about that man. You would never hear me say anything negative about about him. You know what I mean? I won't. But you know what I mean? I can't expect everybody to feel the way that I feel. You know what I mean? And that's a big flaw of mine, you know what I mean? And like I said, crap was rather bothered because at first I was like, no, he said until I watched it. And a lot of you guys started coming, why was Show doing it? You know, people do that, been around here for a while. And it's not about an Xbox or a PlayStation thing. I can care less about any of that, you know what I mean? There were things said and lines crossed that there's no going back from, you know what I mean? You know, saying that I'm, taking advantage of my child. You know what I mean? Or weird shit, or laughing, thinking it's funny that our family lost her home, like, you know what I mean? And so for you guys to expect me or someone that I'm friends with to be on a show with them talking video games, we're talking about games, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking about religion. We're not talking about politics. We're just talking about video games. Something so minute. I wouldn't expect it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I don't think, crap would, you know what I mean? And it's not saying I'm, a crapper with Showstopper thing, And I had to sit down, I'm like, yo, like, that's like, what was going on? You know what I mean? Because we've had personal conversations, you know how I feel about that. Like, yo, ain't nothing funny about that. Like, that's make you stomp a motherfucker out. Like, I don't even play like this. See, one thing about this keyboard, this internet, you give you the freedom to say and whatever you want. And I'm the type of dude, like, don't say stuff over this thing here that you wouldn't say in person to my face. Or it's not about me being trying to punk nobody or bully nobody. I just don't. That's why I don't like to do the back and forth stuff. I don't, because I get fed up with that. And they had me looking like a wild, crazy man. You know what I mean? Like, I can't control it because I don't have the patience for that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, that was like a punch in the bread basket, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man. And like I said, you know what I mean? And like, And this is not me talking about Showstopper. Like I said, if you love a person, you don't stop caring for the dude or whatever the case may be. He's told me personal things about his family or whatever that I would never repeat. You know what I mean? And it's not that type of thing. Even if he was to do a video, I'm not saying that he would, because I don't think that he would. I don't think Showstopper's that type of man. But you would never see me do a response video or a back. I don't do that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, time heal all wounds. So, you know what I mean? So now you got this whole, now, with some, hashtag, you got Kid Smooth with his shit, worry about what, saying that our show is boring now without, here, I don't have an opinion over nothing that anyone do on their channel. It's not my say or my piece. You understand what I'm saying? I don't watch any of their shows any motherfucking way. So, you know what I mean? He's, started, and people just want to start and stir up drama. You understand what I'm saying? And, and like I said, we've been ignoring it, but, you know what I mean? Because, it's not, it's not even a badge. This is the truth video. You know what I mean? This is the truth. And everything I said in this video is the truth. I gave you guys the start when Big Gamers into now, you know what I mean? So, and it was just like I said, to see him on the podcast, to me, it was kind of like, and to say, maybe, like I said, I can't say, but, to say that, you have a problem with whatever the person that said that, I'm molesting my child or thought that me losing my home was funny. Hey, but again, that's you, and I can't expect you to feel with me. And I spoke to Showstopper, and he said, he wasn't thinking about it like that. He just went up there to talk, to talk about games or to defend something. But to me, like, I'm like, man, fuck these games. Like, the crap is like, man, fuck these games. Like, these guys hate us, like, you know what I mean? But, like I said, time heal all wounds, you know what I mean? So, but again, I wish Showstopper nothing but the best. I don't have anything against him, or I would never do a video, disrespecting him. But I'm just saying, you guys want to, this is why, you know what I mean? And like I said, I have a very, very, very small circle, very small. Two people that can say, I don't have a problem with anybody, but, you don't catch me in Skype calls. I just don't like fake and phony shit. Not to say that man is fake or phony. I just don't participate in that. I did all that shit. Like, I don't see how you can say you got a problem with him, but you're in a Skype call with him. That's like, you know what I mean? And ain't none of this, ain't nobody been shot, ain't this no beef. There's been some disrespectful things said that, that can't be taken back. and I can, I just me, I'm a man. I just, I don't, I'm not petty. I'm not saying I hold on to shit. It's just that, I don't believe in disrespecting a man's family, or some things off kids and women. Some things that are off thing. You know what I mean? You don't touch. You just don't go there. You know what I mean? And like I said, maybe a lot of you guys may not have children. Like to have something that you love more than yourself, then you know what I'm talking about when I feel like now you're bugging, bro. Fuck these video games. You know what I mean? So like I said, it was just like I said, it was just, it was a little punch in the bread, in the stomach. You know what I mean? And like that, it was a little like, damn, like bro, you have a problem with him? I'm like, damn. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, like that's I'm like, I'm like, damn, like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't even really want to talk about it. The only reason I'm talking about it because there's been a bunch of weird shit on Twitter today. And so like I say, I'm just gonna, I say, just tell you guys the truth. A lot of you guys, that are fans and shit. Like I said, I don't consider you guys fans. Some of you guys extended family. Those are some, got the haters. But a lot of you jokers have been there since day one, since ground zero. Rocking out with me before you knew who a crap gamer was. And for two though you guys that just been rocking out with us when we were getting like 300-400 views on the podcast. I owe you guys this, you know what I mean, and like I said, that it's not. I didn't feel right if crap was to do because crap doesn't like to. Where crap is like kind of like I said, not confrontational or whatever the case. I mean, not saying that. And I wish a lot of times I wish I would have took the higher road. You know what I mean? Then my channel, wouldn't be messed up another 40 days. But what I mean, and then like I said, I just, it just, at the time it rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I mean? It was like, then he said that, that he never made a video about him, but he's the one that made the video that got my channel to strike on it. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, what the hell? You know what I mean? So it was like, man, and again, I don't think Showstopper probably really meant any harm. But I mean, sometimes sometimes people need time to, just break. You never know what the future may hold. You may see John Doe back with us. Like, time heal all wounds, man. People grow. You know what I mean? Like I said the other day, I don't want, if you guys were fans of his, or, well, I don't say, we're not celebrities. If you watch this show, still and watch his show. You know what I mean? He probably come up with his own show that maybe bigger than Big Game of Small Talk, or just as good or even better. And I wish him nothing but the success. Now some of you guys may not even understand this, and I don't expect you to, but but this is more or less with no arguing, with no fighting. He said his piece, I said my piece, and I haven't spoken to him. You know what I mean? But I see you guys keep ashing and like stop with the drama. Like listen, ain't no drama. Stop hashtags tweeting us with hard E. What the fuck they got to do with our podcast? You know what I mean? And to you other YouTubers talking about we gonna get the listen. Worry about your own channel. Worry about your own show. You can't tell us what to do with our show or what. I mean, stop it. You know what I mean? That's all. And actually, like you said, no one really told him he was off the show. I just never spoke to him. He never came up that Sunday. And that was it. So I see he left a comment today, that he wasn't a part of the show anymore. So, I just say, hey, fine, it is what it is, But like I said, time heals all wounds, man. And I wish him nothing but the best. But like you guys said, well, Showstopper's been known. Showstopper wasn't there from the beginning. It was me and John Doe, Peter, and Dark Holy. That was from the beginning. The initial start. Then it was crap game was there before Showstopper, you know what I mean? And then it became Worry, and then, but we became, like I said, I'm not going to say that Show didn't contribute a lot to the show, he's funny as hell, you know what I mean? But if you enjoy the show, thank you for rocking out with us. If you don't want to rock out with us anymore, believe it or not, me personally, it's never been about views. I just do it because I enjoy doing it, you know what I mean? And I thank you guys for giving us a voice within this community. You know what I mean? And then and Tim. I'm sorry, but Tim Dog has always been there. I've met Tim Dog crazy ass on Twitter, then on Facebook, and I've been telling Tim to bring his crazy ass on the show, this as a guest. And many people we used to bring on the show couldn't keep up with us. You know what I mean? They couldn't get a word in, because we don't have a script. We just we don't have a you go I go. We just if something you have to say, like some podcasts. You may see crap is talking. It's crazy you guys should just stop with that shit. Because there'll be many shows came in, hey, Crap's talking too much or Mooch talk. Everyone has their favorites. You know, but it may be some shows I may not say shit. And some things that we are passionate, you know, that you may have much more to say about a topic than others. Like, we don't fight for airtime. It ain't like that with us, you know what I mean? We don't have to shine because we all do our own thing and come together and give you guys big game of small talk. You know what I mean? I just, you know, and, you know, then like I said, you know, hey, Crap's a racist, man. I don't peg him as no racist. Now, listen, I might find out 6 months ago that Crap ran his own chapter in Louisville, Kentucky, some damn where. Now, Crap my dude, though, man. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, you know, a lot of things people like to blow up and take out of the context because, you know, people, like I said, jealousy is real, man. I mean, people hated him when we got the interview with the jokers that created, you know, Titanfall. You know what I mean? And another thing, too. You guys want someone? You guys want? It was never about Phil Spencer coming on Big Game or Small Talk. It was Aaron Greenberg, and he did agree to do the show, but I didn't want to do the show because there was a lot of shit going on with Crap, and people were saying he was racist, and you know what I mean. And that's why, you know what I mean. So I let you guys talk that shit for a year. You don't know what the hell you talk about. I'm not saying that me and Aaron Greenberg were the best of friends or anything like that, but I, you know, talked to him. Tim talks to them people, like, you know what I mean. And he said he was going to do the show. I just, like I said, this one thing about us. A lot of times, a lot of interviews and stuff that we could do or whatever, but, you know, you have to, how you say, behave. And that's not Big Game or Small Talk. We like to cut up sometimes. We like to say a whole bunch of four-letter words, you know. And that's what makes us us. Nothing against any other podcasts out there. It's not saying that we can't hold an intellectual conversation without cursing. But, you know, a lot of times you guys like the over-the-top, me with my bacon grease. Dirty about to play Halo. You know what I mean? You got Crap with his shit. They hate us because they, you know what I mean, rack them, bitch, you know what I mean? We just be, you know, then Mooch come from Leftville with his shit, with his Japanese propaganda. And then you got Tim Doe, man, a fucking folder. Tim screaming about a fucking folder on PSN. And that's what makes it, you know, us. You know, you got, you know, 4 or 5 people from, you know, from all different walks of life to come together just to talk about gaming. That makes it very organic, you know what I mean? And that's something that I had here that I wanted to do, and I achieved that. You know what I mean? You know, Crap is going on to bigger and better. He probably better 100,000 subscribers next year, whatever the fuck the case may be. I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, and even with Showstopper, there was somebody that I met on my friends list. You know, there was a subscriber of mine. He's going to do his own thing. You know, I put that push go, dude. You can do it. Anybody can do it. Go do it. You know what I mean? You know, so. Mooch, you know how long I've been putting that battery in Mooch back? Get your ass, man, Mooch, you can do it, Mooch. But like, it's a little different than, you know, in front of he didn't like to come in front of the camera, but you're just doing it all yourself, you know what I mean? And it takes some time, it takes a little confidence, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Like I said, you know, I'm proud of the Xbox community. A lot of people like to call me the grandfather of the Xbox community, but I'm not saying I'm the head of anything. But, you know, when I started, you know, waving is really, you know, I've always been an Xbox fan, but you know, after the Xbox unveil, I really started, there was no pro Xbox channels, and I kind of put the brand on my back, and it was crazy as hell through the DRM, through the everything. You know, I remember we doing a video where I get about 5,000 views, and I had 4,989 dislikes. It'd be 2 likes from me and John Doe. Bullshit, you not. Go through my, like, some of the past videos, man. You know what I mean? And again, I said I'm proud of the community. You got all these newer channels, and you know, that came up, and my wife just came to the door. But, you know what I mean? So the Xbox community is growing, it's booming, man. Ghost Rider and Kaleidoscope and Deleon and what's my man? Pop Off Gaming, Northern Block. You got all these channels. Shout out to all those guys, man. You know what I mean? And Blackie Lebowski, you know, Blackie Lebowski was a wee widow. We done cuffed him up, put him on the Xbox side. But like I said, you know what I mean? Shout out to even some of the Sony dudes that we all make this community spin, man. Shout out to Maziago, you know what I mean? Even though he's a Sony dude, but you know what I mean? That's how you do it. Even though he popping shit in the comment section, he's never disrespectful, man. We're just here to talk about games, man, and that's all going forward. You know what I mean? You're gonna see on my channel. You're gonna see no back and forth, and I don't care about that bunch of shit over there. I mean, if you don't want to see me face to face and we can talk and see what your problem is or whatever, then I'm not interested in it. But anyway, this is your boy Next Gen 720 Taco Night tonight, and this is the truth from the start to the beginning. I'm sorry if you made it a little long, but I couldn't put it all in one video, and then, you know, I had to start stuff. So 40 more days, and I'm gonna have my channel back doing what I do best. Bang bang.